Hello everybody and welcome back to Firefield Junction. Another review for you today, and as we can see we've got a Class 66 here by Bachmann. I've been meaning to do this loco for a little while. Some time ago now, you probably remember, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you'll probably remember that I reviewed the Freightliner Power Haul Class 66 by Bachmann, and I thought, I suppose sometime soon I'll probably have to do this one as well. And it's taken a little bit longer than I wanted it to take, but I'm finally here with this particular loco finally. As we can see, it's the DCC sound version. It's not the latest DCC sound version. It is I think the version before that. So I think the sound files are roughly the same, but this one is a little bit more basic and not as good. But I will be getting one of the newest Bachmann Class 66s eventually with the latest sound in them. But we've got this one today, which is still a really good model anyway. So it is a Class 66 as it says there. No prizes for guessing that, unfortunately. Bachmann, as I've already said. As we can see, this is in the EWS livery, and it's number 66040. If you look at the end of the box, we can see Class 66040 and EWS, model code 32-733DS. If you look on the back of the box, we can see we've got some information there about the Class 66. You can pause the video if you want to read that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As we can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I have weathered this particular model myself as well. It's not the best weathering in the world, but it's good enough for me for now. So it doesn't come weathered, although you can buy weathered versions of the Class 66 in this particular livery if you want to. But anyway, I think we'll just get the model out and have a look at it. And obviously, like a lot of the models that I review on my channel, I've obviously had this model for a little while. And to be honest, I think it was probably one of the first, it might have been the first factory sound model I ever bought. So I have had it for quite a long time now, but she's still going strong. And then obviously you do get the usual paperwork, like servicing sheet, list of the sound functions and everything with the model as well. But obviously I've already put those in my little folder with all my other instructions and everything. Let's get the packaging off and get it to one side. There we go. And we'll spin around this way. And there we go. And there we are. Obviously Bachmann do the 66s very, very well. Obviously the Hattons one is probably the best, but in terms of quality and everything at the moment, I still say I still recommend going for these instead. Obviously with the Hattons ones, you're basically lucky if you get a perfect sample of one of them. But yeah, these are still very good models. Obviously, one of the first things you notice, lots and lots of weight, which is good. All of the wheels are driven on both of the bogies, and all of the wheels pick up as well. Her wheels might need a bit of a clean because she hasn't ran very much recently. Well, to be honest, she hasn't actually ran in quite a while. You can see the DC sound logo there, and obviously we've got switches there. I think that's for the sound if you want the sound on or off, or at least I think that's basically to enable you the option of turning the sound on and off or something like that. Underframe detail, there isn't much of it, but it's still good. There's still quite a lot of separately fitted parts there. Livery application is spot on. It's really good. There's nice crisp transfers between the colours. See a number there and the EWS logo, and then obviously we've got some nice grills there. On the grill on the top we can see, that's just amazing. That is, you've got like several grills on top of each other there. You can even feel that, and you can see inside as well. You might just be able to see the speaker underneath there, and the speaker that's in this particular one that I have, I actually upgraded the factory speaker because it wasn't incredibly good, and I upgraded it for a bass enhanced speaker from Roads and Rails. And it's definitely better than the factory supplied speaker. There isn't much difference, but there's definitely more bass to the sound and everything, which is good. Strong buffers, as you'd expect, on both ends. As you can see on this end, we've got a KD coupling, and I did fit that myself. Obviously this model does come with tension lock couplings, and we have got one on the other end, as we can see. So that's the couplings that the model will come with. But on one end I've put a KD, as a lot of the rakes of freight wagons I have on my layout, the front wagon has a KD on it, because I find it just looks a little bit better and it makes coupling and uncoupling a bit easier as well. The roof isn't too bad. We can see we've got all the stuff there, which I think is to do with the exhaust system. I have tried to replicate some of the sort of weathering effect from the fumes around there, and I know it's pretty pants in it, but I suppose it's better than nothing. And I have tried to put some grime on the roof and everything as well. And I know I'm definitely not the best at weathering, I know that, but for me, it'll definitely do me for a while, until eventually one day when I improve it or just completely redo it. But I'm happy with it for now, which is good. As you can see, we've got a little driver in the cab, and there is only a driver in one end, and that's what we want. She does have working lights, as you'd expect on a model like this. So when she's coming towards you, I believe it's this light here and this light here that light up. And obviously when she goes away from you, it's just these two little ones here that light up red. She doesn't have daytime and nighttime lights, unfortunately, although the older versions of the Bachmann 66 do have that. So you can switch between nighttime and daytime running if you wanted to on the older ones. Why they got rid of that on the newer versions, I don't know. Maybe it saved money, or it just wasn't really needed. Maybe a lot of people didn't use it, so I don't know. But yeah, you've only got daytime running lights on the newer versions. I do have a few older versions of the Bachmann 66, but a lot of them, well, I have 3 of them, and 2 of them are just rolling chassis now. So I took the motor out, I took all the electronics out and everything, because they really did run like rubbish. They constantly cut out and everything. They just wouldn't run properly, despite having clean track, clean wheels, clean pickups and everything, so there really was no excuse for them cutting out all the time. And since I paid so little for them, I thought I'll just convert them to rolling chassis, and then I can use them for maybe multi-engine moves or something. But I have got one older version, Bachmann 66, which is actually a 21-pin version, because obviously most of the older Bachmann 66s are 8-pin, but you can get older versions that are 21-pin. And I suppose maybe they came in between the 8-pin versions and these versions here. And since I've got that one, well, I actually bought the chassis by itself, and just swapped the body over from one of my older Freightliner 66s. But yeah, if you do want a Bachmann 66, I recommend you either go for these newer ones, or you go for the older ones, but the 21-pin versions, because one thing the 21-pin versions also have is they also have all-wheel pickup, whereas the 8-pin versions, the very outer wheels here and here don't actually pick up electricity from the rails, which might be one of the reasons why the 8-pin versions don't run incredibly well, at least for me anyway. But yeah, overall, these are absolutely fantastic models. If you haven't got a Bachmann 66, I definitely recommend you get one, because they are brilliant. The detail, the weight is just amazing. But obviously, the main reason we're looking at this one is for the sound. So let's go and put her on the layout and see what she runs like.